The streets of Berlin are its bulletin boards, cluttered with notices seeking anything from an apartment to a lost cat, or griping about all kinds of things. 29-year-old Joab Niest seeks out the most interesting, off-the-wall, and funniest notices. For 2 years, he's been writing a blog called Notes of Berlin. It presents the best notices from the streets of the German capital.
I got
the idea after I moved from Munich to Berlin. Those first 2 years in Berlin, I was absorbing and looking at everything around me. And I started reading these notices.
He finds the
postings on streetlight poles, junction boxes, and courtyard walls. His collection includes one that calls on people to go through their day with a smile, or offers a wedding gown in exchange for a place in a children's daycare center. Joab Niest sees them as an expression of Berlin's humming life.
The notices provided a glimpse of the capital's soul, because they're not the usual contrived cultural communication. The people of this city are expressing themselves in their own way. No one tells them how. Everyone does it the way they want. And these are topics you encounter in everyday life in a major city.
Joab Niest says life in Berlin means the view of the TV tower from the balcony and the molding and floorboards in old apartments, many of which are used for communal living. The focus of daily life is the kitchen, and this is where Joab Niest works on his blog. He's still got the notice that started it all.
This is a certain Felix who was seeking a certain Johanna. And as he puts it so beautifully, it took him all his courage to write it. And he'd be the happiest Felix there is if she'd call him. There were about 100 of them posted all around the Prenzlauer Berg district at the time, at tram stops and intersections. I just took a liking to him, and I could relate to a situation that most of us have experienced.
He started his Notes of Berlin about 2 years ago, and it was an immediate hit. Now he rarely goes out hunting for notices. He gets 5 to 10 sent to him in the mail every day and picks out the best for his blog. The project now has more than 15,000 fans on Facebook. Fans who not only like to read them, but discuss them, often quite intensively.
There are certain issues that tend to polarize opinions or just give rise to differing views. And there's always one notice or another that'll collect some 300 comments in a single day. That's pretty exciting because you've got so many opinions on one topic coming from all over Germany.
Cultural sociologist Friedjof Hager also sees an expression of Berlin's identity in its notices.
The most familiar notice of all is "Cat ran off." You get some idea of the drama in our family. Little kids crying and sobbing. This way, a notice like this helps us see our surroundings as a neighborhood. It's harmless, non-binding, but it makes you feel just a bit more at home.
In June, Joab Niest published his collection in a book, and a sequel is already planned. And another blog on German street notices in general is in the works.
It's not just my eyes that have been caught by all this, but the eyes of many, many people who live in Berlin. So I believe this is a fairly authentic reflection of what moves this city and what it gets up to.
A hand-drawn dream house on an apartment wanted notice. One looking for lost stuffed bunnies, answered by a ransom note for bunny hostages. They're more than just notices. Taken together, they paint a multifaceted portrait of Berlin.